Hello, my name is Lauren Cortez, and my presentation will be on greenhouses. What is the technology? Greenhouses are usually made of glass in which the temperature is maintained within a desired range, used cultivating plants or growing plants throughout different seasons. The technology works by thermal radiation and heat exchange. Transparent walls and roofing allows all the visible rays of sunlight to pass through, which heats up the air and soil. A greenhouse functions by providing the light, warm temperature, and air that is critical for the plant's survival. How does a greenhouse work? Thermal radiation heats up the air inside the greenhouse, which then heats the soil. The warm air contributes to the production and soil conservation of the heat. The soil is able to retain heat even when thermal radiation becomes inactive. When the temperature in the greenhouse is high during the day, at night the temperature drops and the soil's stored heat heats up the air. This cycle creates a temperature regime inside the greenhouse. Greenhouse function continued. The sunlight is trapped, which provides the plant with enough access to sunlight. For sunlight to remain in the greenhouse, elements in the greenhouse absorb the light and convert it into heat. Trapping heat is one of the primary functions called the greenhouse effect. When the light is converted into heat, it takes form in a different form. The wavelengths make it difficult for the heat to escape the greenhouse. Warm air trapped in the greenhouse increases the temperature. Because the greenhouse is relatively airtight, the warm air stays inside and the temperature lasts for a longer time. With sufficient light and warm temperature, the plants grow. This allows photosynthesis to occur. Technology, climate control system. The application is a climate control system, automates the greenhouse to reach the desired temperature as required by the crop's growing process. Greenhouse sensor system has elements that control temperature, humidity, electrical conductivity, pH, carbon dioxide, fogging, shading, and red external conditions. Climate control system helps growers get better quality control and enhance crop yields. Greenhouse sensor system measures chemical and physical characteristics and alters the result into an electrical signal collected by an automated computer. Commercial greenhouses rely on these systems to maintain consistent temperature conditions. With climate controlled systems, there's controlled environment. Air circulation, ventilation, air circulation can reduce plant activity and lead to problems with humidity. Air conditioners, fertigation, heaters, dehumidifiers, lights, CO2, which absorbs and radiates heat, cooling pads, no spraying of water increases humidity if needed for crops. Usually, a preferred cooling method for a greenhouse is evaporation cooling. Evaporation cooling is the process of water particles evaporating, which leads to a decrease in temperature through increased humidity. Temperature, humidity, time, light, and weather are all factors that can be used. Pros and cons of a greenhouse technology with a controlled system. Pros, great alternative for growing plants in the winter, extend growing season, minimize external threat to crops, increase production and yield. Cons, high operating expenses can increase electrical and water bill, building expenses, and high maintenance. Who is the technology used by? Greenhouses are used by the agricultural industry, farmers, students, propagators, home gardeners, greenhouse technicians, and horticulturalists. Greenhouse expenses. Cost depends on the size of the greenhouse. A 500 square foot greenhouse could cost around $10,000. A 1,000 square foot greenhouse could cost around $20,000. Labor costs can be around $300 to $500 per day. Standard greenhouses can save money. However, if a greenhouse is customized, the cost will be expensive, especially when installing a controller system. Greenhouses can be seen as an investment. Crops and plants grown can be sold and make a profit. Ecolo- Ecological savings. Growing in greenhouses is a much more sustainable method. Greenhouses keep wildlife and ecosystems undisturbed, but keep in mind that greenhouses can be energy and water intensive. Social cost and savings. Beneficial to the agricultural industry in growing more crops with fewer pesticides, provides natural protection, includes less pollutions. Greenhouses allow greater crop flexibility and plants can grow all year round. Socially, communities can benefit from greenhouse production. Lastly, what the greenhouse protects from external environment that can damage plants and even tear from the root. Weather conditions such as rain, hailing, and precipitation. With a greenhouse, you can control how much water your crops receive. Reduction of pests and pesticides. This was my presentation. I hope that you guys liked it, and thank you.